Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at another of the brand new PNSO figures that have just recently come out, and this is the very first of the new large hollow vinyl models. There is this one and there is also a Ceratosaurus, but this one is the Ophthalmosaurus, and I was really looking forward to this. When I was reviewing all of those mini figures from PNSO, I felt like one of my favorites, if not my favorite out of all of them, was their smaller Ophthalmosaurus, so I was quite excited to get a hold of this large one. Not to mention I am a huge fan of the PNSO large vinyl models. I absolutely adore all of those previous releases, so I was beyond excited for them to start releasing newer large vinyl models again. And this one has a beautiful box here. Really, you can see Brook the Ophthalmosaurus, and it's really a fantastic box. It's just basically an underwater scene here of the Ophthalmosaurus. You can see the top of the water right there. Beautiful image right there of the Ophthalmosaurus itself. When you flip it over, you get the upper part of the water, and outside of the water, some clouds and stuff. And then the opposing side and everything is pretty much exactly the same as what you saw here on the front. But let's go ahead and break this Ophthalmosaurus out of the box. Now, as usual with PNSO, they always like to go the extra mile with their releases, and you can see that you do get a little booklet here with a nice image of the Ophthalmosaurus in the front, and then you can open it up, and on the inside you've got a beautiful image there again of the Ophthalmosaurus and a whole bunch of information all about it, about the sculptor, PNSO, and the Ophthalmosaurus itself. A very nice read if you do order this figure. I have already read the entire thing. It was a very interesting read and an absolutely beautiful addition to this set. So let's bring in the Ophthalmosaurus itself. And there we are. Look how awesome that looks. That is so stinking nice. And honestly, this thing is really quite large. It's even bigger than I expected it to be. I know these large vinyl models usually are, but it's still impressive to me just how large this thing really is. And I absolutely love these figures. I feel like if you buy these PNSO large vinyl models, there's almost no need to ever buy any of those large resin figures from companies like Chronicle or anything. I mean, I guess if you want Jurassic figures, you would want to buy those, but these things are of similar size and exactly the same amount of beautiful detail, if not more, as far as the detail goes, and the paint applied always looks so fantastic. And again, it's much cheaper than you would have to pay for a larger resin figure, and much more durable, because you are not going to crack these pieces off or anything by bumping into anything. It's very durable, very resilient as far as that goes. But again, we're here to actually look at this new figure and get a nice closer look, so let's do that now. So starting up here at the head sculpt, the entire mouth, it's got a very nice long mouth area, and it really looks beautiful. Just look at the incredible sculpt work as far as the very small, minute details that you find all over the entire snout of this figure. It's really impressive just how much insane sculpt has gone into this. You can see the nostrils are very nicely sculpted out there as well, even up on the top of the head. Super impressive, and the eyes themselves are so insanely nicely done. They look very legit, very real. They've got a nice gloss to them. Pretty much the entire body really has a gloss to it, but you can see the eyes just gloss perfectly as you turn it. And I'm not quite sure how the eyes are painted. I assume it's a decal on there, but I love the way they've done it. I think the eyes have such a beautiful appearance now as far as the way they look. A very realistic, very legit look to them. The coloration and everything that is put onto it, I think, is just beyond perfect, and I really love the eye area of this figure. You can see it is primarily like a dark gray up here on the top, and then the underside here is a whitish coloration, but then right under the eye you can see a little bit of purple there, and I think that accents the eye and really makes the entire thing just look beyond beautiful. It really does. But one thing that is very cool about this is you can kind of get back here behind the eye a little hint of the purple. It's almost like a, maybe not so much a wash, but it's just, I don't know, somehow they've really applied a purple to the underside of the coloration here, and it even runs back through here, and it really looks so cool the way they've done it. Again, PNSO always impresses me, but they lately have just been impressing me with these weird little things they do, like the mosasaur having a glitter on it, making it look very real and alive and wet. But then here with this beautiful purple that they've applied, and you almost don't even notice it until you get it out in the light. It's so cool looking, and I really love these little things that they've been doing to their figures just making them a step above what anybody else is doing currently. You can again take note of all this beautiful sculpt as you run back past the head here. So many little creases and cracks in the skin. And again, it's something that is primarily would be a smooth type of a look to it, so it's always impressive to me how they find ways to just put so much incredible detail and sculpt into these figures, and it runs the entire length out of the body everywhere. All those little creases and cracks in the skin just look beautiful. When you get down here to the flipper, even the detail and sculpt right where the flipper connects to the body looks fantastic. The detail on this also looks great. The beautiful little skin folds here right under, kind of giving you an idea of the movement of the flipper itself. Really love that. And again, there's some more of that purple that's been applied just down here. Really looks nice. And again, you come back up, all the way up here into the dorsal fin. Look at that. That's just unbelievable how much sculpt has gone into the dorsal fin alone. As I turn it, you can really see, and I love that gloss that is applied to it, just making it look very real and very alive, very wet. It's almost like I just pulled it right out of the water, and I'm holding it right here to show you guys. I'm waiting for it to start wiggling and trying to get back in. It honestly looks that real. And the sculpt on the underside is also fantastic. Really beautifully done everywhere. Up here, it's same where the flipper connects, looks great, and the sculpt overall, just so many little minute details that just blow me away when it comes to this figure. And you work your way out to the tail, and the tail itself is really nicely sculpted. Also has a beautiful curve to it. You can see right there, very nice looking curve, and the actual sculpt and detail of the tail just looks fantastic. Once again, as I turn it, it's super impressive to me how nicely sculpted this figure is. And then we work our way up on this side, giving you a really nice idea once again of all the minute little details and sculpt that is put in, and you can kind of see the way the body is moving here. It's really hard to take note of it, but like there's little humps in the skin here, just kind of showing you the movement of the Ophthalmosaurus itself. Really love that. It's hard to really get that point across when you're not looking at it in person and you're looking at it on camera. So I'm trying to turn it here so you can really see the way the skin is folding and the body is moving. It's just really nicely done. Once again, coming up here, you can kind of see that same thing going on right here and up here. Sculpt down here again right by the flipper where it connects. Then you come back out to that incredible head sculpt and the beautiful paint applied, that wonderful looking eye. Really love the eye area. So overall, this figure is absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful, and it's of a very obscure species, and I am head over heels in love with this figure. It does come with a base, and unlike the previous large vinyl figures for the sea creatures, you previously got like a sandy base. This is just this same style of base that you got with the Mosasaurus, and I think it works really well. It looks beautiful, has a very high quality and artsy type of a look to it, and then you get PNSO down there. Of course, you've got these little pegs that you have to stick in there, and then you'd go ahead and take your Ophthalmosaurus, set him on there. He sits perfectly on the pegs. One thing that was a big issue with these large vinyl figures a while back were the seams, and although the seams are still present, you can kind of see one right here behind the neck. You can see one where the dorsal fin is applied, and then of course the tail fin there, and I think that's really about it. I guess you can see on these flippers as well, but it's really hard to pick up on, and they've honestly just done an absolutely incredible job as far as improving the area where the seams are. You're pretty much going to get those seams no matter what, because you have to connect the body parts somehow, but PNSO has definitely improved as far as hiding those seams, and they've done a much better job on that on this newer figure, so that's super exciting news for anybody that maybe was a little iffy on these figures due to those seams previously. They have definitely improved them a lot, by leaps and bounds, I would say. As far as a size goes, and I have mentioned that this is a pretty big figure, so from the tail to the head, you are looking at, move it over here for you guys to see, you're looking at about 18 3/4 inches, or about 48 centimeters. And for a height, I guess if I take it off to the height of the dorsal fin, you're looking at about 6 1/4 inches, or about 16 centimeters. And if you're looking at a height when it's actually on the base, about 8 inches, a little bit over, or about 20.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is our Papo Rex, who was just completely dwarfed by this large PNSO Ophthalmosaurus. Once again, this should give you a great idea of just how large this Ophthalmosaurus is, because the Paporex itself is no small figure, so for this to dwarf it the way it does, it really shows you how large it is. And for another size comparison, here is the PNSO 1/35th scale Mosasaurus. Next to the Ophthalmosaurus, you can again see that the Mosasaurus is actually really quite large as well. It's really long. But as far as overall body size, I feel like this Ophthalmosaurus completely dwarfs the Mosasaurus. But it looks just as beautiful being this large scale model. And in fact, I really kind of like these larger ones. I think just a little better, the larger vinyl figures, as opposed to these 1/35th scale ones. But these smaller 1/35th scale ones are insanely beautiful as well. So I pretty much am a fan of all of PNSO. But again, showing you the size of these two together. The Ophthalmosaurus is quite large. So this Ophthalmosaurus is a breath of fresh air as far as I'm concerned, because I was so concerned and so worried that we would never get any more of those large vinyl figures from PNSO, and thankfully that is not the case. They have come back with some brand new ones, and this Ophthalmosaurus is the first of hopefully many of these large vinyl figures to come. I honestly love this figure so much. It's so beautiful, it really is. The paint applied looks fantastic. It all looks very natural, very real, and overall has such a lifelike appearance to it. Those eyes are just jaw-droppingly nice as far as the way they look, and the overall sculpting and everything of this figure just looks beautiful. It truly does look very, very real and very alive. It's pretty much as if they caught an Ophthalmosaurus, brought him here, threw him on this little stand, and there he is just chilling. So if you want yourself an incredible Ophthalmosaurus for your collection, this is without question the way to go. Again, PNSO pulling out an obscure species like an Ophthalmosaurus and bringing it pretty much to life for us right here. If you do want to order this, go ahead and click the description, check down there, because there will be a link to the Amazon PNSO store where you can pick up this incredible work of art for yourself. And trust me, you're gonna love it as much as I do, because it is really, really that nice. It honestly is. So go ahead, click that link, go buy yourself an incredible PNSO Ophthalmosaurus, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.